Hey guys, what's up? It's Codemaster here, and I'm back with another great episode of the how to make a ball rolling game. And in this episode, we're going to be setting up the play field. So, what we're going to do first is build some walls. So, let's build some walls. So, right click and create a 3D object and make it a cube. And let me just check the size of this plane right now. It's 50 by 50, okay? But this cube right here, we can reposition it by putting everything to 0 on the positioning, and then double clicking on cube. But as you can see, it's completely in the ground, so we can rise it up by 1. And there you go. And now we can drag it all the way over to the edge. If you double click on it, and you can zoom into it, and we can drag it all the way to the edge. And once it's there, it should be at a negative 25. And we can make this scale on the X a point. On the X we can make it a scale of 50. That should fit there. Yes, it does. And on the scale of Z, we can put it at 0.5. And now when it's at negative 25, it's perfectly lined up there. Perfectly on the line. And now we can raise the Y to 2. So just in case it doesn't fall off. And we can bring the scale up to 1.5 just in case it won't fall through. So there's a tiny bit underneath it here and at the top. So now we can call this cube. First, we can call it the left wall, because where I'm facing right now is the left wall. And I'm going to create an empty game object, and this game object is going to be called walls. Walls. And we can drag this in here. And first, actually drag it out of here again. And on the wall prefab, reset the components, because this is important. Because if you were to move around the left wall and the right wall and everything into the wall, in the wall empty game object, it would mess up everything, and the left wall, the right wall, and everything won't be in the proper spots. So now that I did that, we can drag it in there. And I can duplicate this and change the position from negative 25 to 25. And there you go. And I can call this right wall. And now I can duplicate this again. And if I rotate it on the X, nope, not the X, the Z axis, or not, rotate it on the Y axis 90 degrees. And we can reposition the Z into 0, and I can bring the X back 25, and there you go. That's going to be the front wall. So instead of right wall, I can change that to front wall. And now we can duplicate this and change it from 25 to negative 25, and we can rename that to back wall. Back wall. There we go. And I'm going to change where the camera is, because you can't see all the walls from here. So just bring that back, higher back, and I'm going to rotate this down a little bit. And there you go. And now that we have that there, we can start building or making a pick up objects. So I'm gonna right click, go to 3D object, and create a cube. And we can reset the positions on this cube. And if we double click on it, we can see it's in the ground again. And we can bring it up to the position 1. And then we can change its scale to 0.5 on every one of the scale axes. And I'm just gonna move this over because my player's in the way. But there you go. And when you're going to pick up objects, it doesn't look very cool in the scene, so the player's not going to want to pick it up. So we're going to change these scales, or the rotation on these, to 45, 45, and 45 on every angle. Now that makes it look cooler. And there you go. And actually, this game object right here, this pickup cube, isn't very noticeable in the game scene. So I'm going to change the width of this ground actually to, I'll change it to 20 by 20 actually, to make it a little smaller because this is too big. And I'm just going to reset the walls. Well, actually, I'll be right back and when I fix the walls, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. And I fixed the walls, and I changed the ground scale to 20 by 20 by 20, except on the y-axis. And I fixed the walls' positions and everything like that, so the camera can actually see this game object that we're going to pick up now. So here we go. So, right now on the cube, we can rename this to pick up. So I'm just going to name this pick up with capitals. And now that we made it on its scale of 45, 45, and 45, the player's not going to want to pick it up if it doesn't have any animation because it's not going to look that cool. So let's create a script over here. Call it, it's going to be a C# script. We're going to call it, let's call it Object Rotator with a no space. No, Object Rotator. There you go. And double click on this. Whoops, double click on this to open it. And once that opens, I'm going to create a function called transform.rotate, and then create a new vector 3 in that and everything. So the object will rotate, and I just double clicked on this again because I just realized I didn't do it before. And I'll be right back when this opens. Okay, so the script opened, and now we can start working on our script. So we can just type, well, we can delete the void start function. We're not going to be needing it in this. And we can type in transform.rotator. Well, actually, no, transform.rotate, bracket, new vector 3. And then inside that bracket, and we can say 15, and then 30, and then 45. And then after that, all we have to do is put in times time.delta time, so it runs smoothly. And there you go, semicolon, and Control S. And for some reason, this is not working because I don't have a bracket there. Then semicolon, Control S, and that should fix it. Just wait for that to recompile. And there you go. And just wait, let me check one thing. And okay, never mind. And you need to open up again. And in my pickup object, drag on the object rotator script. And now when we press play in our game menu, once it loads, the object should be spinning. And there you go. It's in the game menu and in the scene menu. You can see it spinning. And that's exactly what's supposed to happen. And now I need to turn this into a prefab. So come into our assets folder, right click, create folder, and we're going to call this prefabs. And for those that don't know what prefabs are when you have a game object inside the Unity scene, and it is going, like, you need it to spawn over and over and over, and you only want to use one object. You don't want to keep on duplicating, and you're trying to spawn it in a script. You can just use prefabs and access the prefab, and that's sort of what we're going to do. So drag in the pickup. We're probably not going to be using the script to do it, but this is exactly what we're doing for now. And let's create a material for this. So right click, create, and material, and we'll call this, I'll call it pickup. There you go. And we'll change the color to, I'm changing the color to, I'll do it like an orangey yellow sort of. And just drag it right onto our prefab. So I could drag this, whoops, never mind. I'll drag it right onto our game object inside the scene view, and you can click on pickup here and press apply. And now every single other one you make will be there. So that's pretty much it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, please like and subscribe. Goodbye.